Hey, Tamar, thanks for the time. I wanted to ask you, I asked Coach Woodson earlier about, this team playing fast this year. How much is that being emphasized to you guys compared to last year, and how much better prepared do you guys feel like you are to play more up-tempo this year?
We feel like that's just something that'll help us from an offensive standpoint. And I mean, it's really just a credit to what we want to do on the defensive end. Obviously, we do want to run sets and be able to execute in the half court, which we'll have to, at a certain point when we come up against certain opponents. But when we can get stops and get out in the transition and get easy baskets, we want to take advantage of all those opportunities as much as we can.
Wilson?
Tamar, Coach Woodson was talking about just the strides you've made, and I'm just wondering, what do you see as the biggest difference between yourself right now and yourself a year ago at this time?
Just more experience. I know a little bit more coming into the season, just in terms of the team dynamic, what Coach Wilson and the rest of the coaching staff want from me and need from me as a player, and then just from a mental standpoint, just knowing that I can go out there and be able to play through mistakes and play hard. Know that the coaching staff has a little bit more trust in me to be able to help us go win games.
Alex and then Tyler?
Good morning. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it. I'm curious, just, obviously when you came up through the ranks in high school and AAU, you're a starter on a team. What's the adjustment like at this level coming off the bench? And is there any change in the approach, going into a game when maybe you're coming off the bench rather than starting?
Nah, the focus always remains the same. And I mean, just for, coming off the bench, the way I see it, me coming off and, subbing into the game and teams having to deal with that, that just makes us, that much better and shows how strong we are just as a unit. The fact that, I'm coming off the bench after watching, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, however long of the game go by, I can get a feel for it just from watching and seeing what's going on, just from a scouting standpoint, what they like to do and what they like to go to early. But the approach is always the same, because the end goal is to win the game. So no matter who starts, we're always keeping the long game in mind and just, worried about, finishing the game and coming out with a W.
Tyler and then William?
Hey Tamar, I hope you're doing well. What about playing for Mike Woodson is fun? I guess what about his coaching style, his personality, is most enjoyable and makes it fun playing for him?
I would say it's just like you always know, or we always know, like when when the time and place is, for being serious and when we can joke around, have fun, but it's a fine line, between when it's time to really work and do what we need to do and handle our business. So I feel like he does a good job in facilitating an environment where guys are comfortable being themselves, but also knowing we still got a job to go do, and everybody has to pull their weight and be able to focus when that time comes.
William and then Mike?
Hey, Tamar. How would you define your role this season, and how would you say that's changed from last year to this year?
I would say my role this year is to obviously bring a spark, whether we're, playing well or not, just be able to change the flow of the game of what I do best, which is, defending, getting out of transition, getting easy baskets, making shots, creating my own shot, and then creating opportunities for others to score. And obviously, leading the defense, when I'm on the back line, constantly communicating and, bringing the younger guys along and, helping, them with, the experience that they do have, along with the skill that they have, just being able to be that guy that they can come to, help them figure out, or navigate this journey, their freshman year, because, especially Jalen and Malik, they have, you seen early, they'll probably play a good amount of minutes along with CJ and KB, but it's just being able to help them, feel comfortable in their shoes and, continue to do what they can to help us win games, because that's what it's all about.
Mike and then Tyler?
Yeah, Tamar, I think one of the reasons why everybody's picking you guys so high, both in the league and nationally, is because of the bench. Everybody says how much depth you guys have, and you showed that the other night. You guys kind of took over the game when the second unit came in. I'm curious how much of a source of pride that is. How much you guys talk about that. The main group coming off the bench. Just the kind of the mindset of coming in and taking over games and kind of being the difference on this team.
I mean, a team is only as good as, the last man on the bench, not just, the guys who come off and provide, a spark or whatever we need or whatever the game calls for. But, like you can think back to, teams like Golden State, when they continue in their run, what they're doing now, and even other good college teams from the past, just, when you have depth and can go into your bench and rely on those guys to go in and make plays. We take pride in the fact that we, have the ability to, make plays and help us win games and be able to do things and that, help the team and take some, I wouldn't say pressure off of the guys who start the game, but just like they know that when they do sub out, it's somebody in the game that they can trust and believe in to, make winning plays.
Tyler, and then we'll wrap with Alex.
Tamar, I noticed you got a tattoo of your daughter's name on your arm. I guess, when did you get that, and why was that something you wanted to do?
I got this tattoo. Let me see. It's November 9th. I've had it it's probably coming up on a month. So, and then, I mean, I got it just because, obviously she's not with me all the time. And I mean, she's, really special to me, means a lot to me. So I just wanted to, I was going to get a tattoo or something that, had to do with her regardless. But, just getting her name tattooed on me, kind of just carrying her with me always in a sense, was something that, I just felt like it was nice to do just because, the tattoos that I do have, I really just try to put things on my body that actually mean something to me. Obviously, my daughter means the world to me. So, I got her name and I got her footprints on my hands, left and right. So, yeah, that's a little bit. That's just how that went.
Last question, Alex Bozich.
Mar, you mentioned Jalen and Malik and the freshmen. I'm curious, just from practice, where you guys were a season ago at this point into now. Is there a noticeable difference just in terms of the level of competition when you guys step into practice? And can you feel that as a player that you've gotten better as a team overall compared to where you were last year?
Yeah, no doubt. Just because, when we do, split the teams up and it's whether it's a mix or if it's the starting five versus second five, we always compete. We're never just, it's never a time like where it's just like completely one-sided or, we just lay down or whatever. We get after it every day just because we have the guys that can, compete with our first five, whether we, like I said, mix it up or not. But yeah, it definitely is a noticeable difference in terms of the level of competition in practice, and that only makes us better because, in a sense, the games can be a lot easier than practice. Like practice can be harder just because it's it ain't no refs and we know each other's plays and the defense. So it's really good that we're able to get high level reps in practice.